What's up, everybody? I'm Bree.
And I'm Evan.
And this is Reality Check TV.
Voila.
Here is where we discuss some of our favorite reality shows to watch together as a couple. So if you love reality TV like we do, make sure to hit that notification bell so you can get notified anytime we post a new review. Everybody, welcome back. We are so happy to be back with you guys again with our people. I hope you all had a safe and uneventful holiday weekend. I can't say that for us, but we won't get into that right now. But we're here. We'll just know that we're here. Yes. What energy are you on today, Evan?
I'm trying to push through for y'all. I'm just getting over a head cold.
Yes.
Trying to get my voice back. I'll say I'm at about 75%. But hopefully I'll feel better by the end of the week.
But I know you guys do not want to hear about our life and our woes in this very moment. You came to check out our review on this latest episode of Ready to Love, which had its moments. We have our strong opinions. And because my boo is sick, we gonna make this quick. We gonna make it quick.
Oh, how long it take you to make that up?
What?
How long it take you to make that up?
Make what up? You being sick?
Since my boo is sick, we gonna make it quick.
Oh, I didn't mean for that to rhyme. Though. But listen, your girl got skills. I didn't mean to do that. Y'all, let's get into it. So it is Men's Week. They are in power. And it's been the moment that I've been waiting for all season. And it is the infamous trip. This is where the whole house, or not whole house, everybody gets together and goes and do a trip in a house. And so now all of a sudden it becomes one of our regular reality shows where everybody lives in the house and there's drama and all this other stuff. So I love this week because this is usually the time where connections are made clear. People's intentions are made very clear. So like
supposed to be.
You are absolutely right. That's what it's supposed to be. That's what it's supposed to give, but it doesn't. But this time around, like I said, it's the men that are in charge. And so they will be eliminating one of the ladies this week. I will say, on the little car rides down to this house and God knows where, it was a beautiful mansion, but I don't think they ever mentioned where they were actually vacationing. But whatever. On the way there, the women are riding together and they're riding with people that pretty much they've been buddy with all season. And I just want to point that out because I just feel like it speaks a lot to the women. So we had Jessica, Janelle.
Janelle should have been in the trunk.
And we're going to get to Janelle's ass. But Jessica, Janelle, and was it Sierra? No, Sierra was with Lee. And Kat. There's a third girl that was in that car. I just said that. It was Sierra, Lee, and Kat in one car.
Sierra, Lee, and Kat in one.
Then Jessica, Aries. Okay. And I believe that's what it was, right? It was Aries was riding with Janelle and Jessica.
Oh, no, I can't remember.
It don't matter.
They all made it there safely.
It don't matter. But the point is when they were riding there, Kat was mentioning how, she doesn't really have any strong connections just yet. But she's trying to get to know Q more and a couple of the other guys. I feel like that was forceful. That's why I brought this all up. Yeah. It's because the conversations that people were having in the car ride to the house, I feel like once again, the episode starts off with people having these random connections that we're missing. Like, a couple weeks ago when Janelle and Morier had this connection, it didn't make sense to me in the moment. Or any of Kat's real connections, to be honest, besides Phil. Phil was really the one that I feel like there was a connection there. Like they had their date and we seen that happen just like with her and Herbert.
Yeah.
But we haven't seen Kat really interact with any of the other guys. Mm-hmm. She had that one date when we was introduced to her with Chris, but it seemed like nothing came from that.
Yeah, nothing came from it.
So
Kat's journey's been actually pretty weird.
Right.
Because, she's had her scenes where she had guys, meet her best friend or something like that.
Yeah.
And it's like
she had Phil and Herbert, which that made sense to me.
I just feel like with Phil, I literally feel like he's kind of locked down to Aries.
Yes.
Like there's literally like no point of even having him in your thing.
Right.
Because I've really just looked at him locked down.
Right. He really hasn't been pushing for a connection with anybody else. Mm-mm. So we can get Phil and Aries out the way, during the duration of their stay at the house. And let me take that back because this was only day one. Mm-hmm. So the first day, Phil again is just really connecting with Aries. And I still stand on the fact, even though Aries has a connection with Chris, which we'll get into that, I just always felt like her connection with Phil was just stronger.
I mean, yeah, I'd be forgetting that she has a connection with Chris because I just look at just her and Phil
and I'd be forgetting Phil be there sometimes.
Because yeah, I mean.
But I think you mentioned it in our last episode about them having their kiss. Mm-hmm. And so it's like, I don't know. I feel like that's the writing is already on the wall for Aries and Phil. Mm-hmm. I still don't feel like we know a whole lot about Phil to say yay or nay.
Yeah, we don't. It's kind of been on the quiet thing.
Right.
But yeah, when it came to them, this episode, there really wasn't too much with them. Of course, they were doing their thing, kicking it together, and little foot massages in the bedroom.
Yeah.
But to be honest with you, that's about it. Besides that, it was like a lot of crickets.
Right.
With them.
Right.
So, y'all, we are not going to go in order. We are just going to go, participant by participant, no particular order, no particular scene. Up next, we had Sierra. I felt Sierra was very interesting in this episode because, she kind of talks about this process, how it's not her vibe. She's used to a particular type of chase from a man. She's used to, as she calls, a certain type of pressure from a man, which she feels she is not getting from none of the men here, especially Morier. She says she wants Morier to apply more pressure. What's your definition of that?
Applying pressure?
Yeah.
I understood where she was coming from. My only thing with Sierra is another point where I feel like it was being forced. So just like Kat, I feel like it's forceful. I truly, besides Herbert, right? Besides him and the physical attraction, mm-hmm. I don't believe that Sierra genuinely felt like she had a connection with any of the guys. And that includes Morier. I think she really likes Morier. I think she likes what he stands for. But I don't believe that she feels like that is who she's attracted to. Right. For whatever reason, right? Because she even made a comment on what her friends said when it was Friend Week. And they said, he's husband material. And I feel like she knows that or she feels that. But deep down inside, she's like, I really don't have a connection with this dude. Right. Like, it's not working. And I think her being fun and bubbly and just cracking the jokes and being, real,
well, they call her animated.
Yeah, animated or just over the top, like all of that. I think it is a part of her personality. I think that's who she is. But I also think that is a little bit of a coping mechanism. Yeah. And I think a lot of it is a little bit of an insecurity of dang, I'm in this process, but I'm not genuinely feeling like I have a strong connection in a future with any of the guys here.
Right. And I don't feel so either. I feel like, she's at the point where she's just along for the ride, just enjoying the ride.
Right.
Yeah, she really doesn't have, it's only Maria, when she took him full side to talk. She was letting him know how she felt about the process and saying, about her feeling how she should be pursued. And, if he wasn't, if he felt like he couldn't do it, go with your other connection. I'll go home. And of course, she says she'll go home because she feels that Maury is her only option.
Yeah.
But, a lot of guys, the consensus of the guys, though, from the past episode, well, not just past episodes, actually this episode when they were voting, was, a lot of them don't see the whole connection with her.
Mm.
They look at her as the fun time.
Yeah.
Some complain about she's a little too animated. Some feel she's guarded.
Well, I said it's a coping mechanism, right? I think that, the guys are trash for how they dealt with this situation and how they went about this whole episode. And we'll get into that, in my opinion, on that. You can have your feelings and say that she is animated and all of these different things. That's her personality. It doesn't have to be for you. I don't disagree with her about applying pressure. She's absolutely right. I think it also adds another layer to it that she could tell that Maury has a stronger attraction and is doing more to get the attention of Jessica.
Right.
And if she didn't know it before, she saw it in black and white or in full color. I'll say that she saw it in full color in this episode while they're on this trip. Like, they cooked out on the grill, and when everybody's sitting down to eat, Jessica makes Maury's plate, and she's at the table, and she was like, you see this shit? Like, she's talking to the rest of the girls that she was sitting next to, and she was like, this is what I'm talking about. Like, or when they was outside sitting on the patio and he was about to go sit next to Jessica, and then she was like, well, come over here. Like, you could tell that she sees what we all see about who Maury's real connection is.
Yeah, just because it was funny because she made a comment too saying, it's time for her to tap out.
Yes. I think Sierra just accepted it. Like, she's like, this is the end of the road.
And not to go back to Kat, but, I kind of feel like they're somewhat on the same wave because Kat's still trying to find a connection. I know recently in this episode, she kind of asked about Chris.
Well, let's hold on for Kat because I have one more thing to say about Sierra.
Mm-hmm.
When she had the conversation that night with Maury outside, right before that, they played a game about, asking each other questions about relationships. And one question came up about being in love. And Maury admits that he's never been in love. Before we get into just that, Sierra received it as, like that, like, here I am trying to push this man and he doesn't even really know what love is. Like, now I need to be patient with him and like all of that stuff. How did you feel about that? Right? So putting yourself in Sierra's shoes, just reverse.
Mm-hmm.
How do you respond to meeting a woman in her 30s that says she's never been in love?
You kind of look at it from different angles. There's literally some people out here who've been in numerous relationships before 30 and still haven't been in love.
Mm-hmm.
I kind of look at it as a form of an opportunity, but at the same time, it's kind of a form of, okay, do I feel like kind of gambling?
Yeah.
Because for me, if I feel like I'm very sure of myself and I'm sure where I want to be, it's like, due to you never reached that level before, it's one of those things where do I feel like being patient? And do I feel like, me possibly being the first person you're in love with, like, is this going to last long?
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm. You can look at it from different angles.
Mm-hmm. I asked you that question because I found it real interesting how her instant response was, oh, well, then maybe I need to give him more grace because he doesn't even know what love is like mm-hmm. in like more of like the savior role.
Yeah.
I found that to be interesting. I would love to hear what you guys thought, but I don't know. It was something about her placing herself in that role.
Right.
That made me kind of tilt my head. Like, what? Like, I think a lot of times us as women think that we can change men before getting into a relationship with them and before they even prove anything to us and like make their intentions clear with us. And I think it was a little bit too much too soon.
Mm-hmm.
And maybe that's where I'm coming from. I hope that makes sense, guys. But I feel like if your complaint has been this entire time that you are not seeing Morier's intentions clearly, like you don't feel like he's applying pressure, lack of a better term, then why then respond with hearing that he doesn't know how to love with, oh, I can save him and like, let me be patient, you know? Am I reading too much into that?
No, for sure. That's your side of things.
Yeah.
So we're going to stay on Morier for you guys. As y'all know, we just talked about Sierra. Morier's other connection too we have is Jessica. Mm-hmm. And Jessica recently cut off Chris. Mm-hmm. So it's really looking for Jessica that Morier's her only connection. Mm-hmm. Despite, Sierra and Morier's talk, I still feel like Morier's silently letting Sierra go to kind of put more emphasis on Jessica. And let me know if I'm wrong. I believe like even earlier in the season, Morier let it be known like his interest in Jessica.
He's been saying that since like day one to me. I think he was instantly physically attracted to Jessica. That's one. He also mentioned when they met friends, he said to the friends, when Chris was trying to, criticize her character and bring that into question, which is so disrespectful. Been there. But when he was doing that, Morier said, like, it's those characteristics that makes me really attracted to her. I actually like the fact that she has strong opinions and that she comes off as a very independent, strong woman and, very intelligent. Like all of the things that Chris was making negative, Morier was uplifting that. So yeah, I feel like Jessica has been his only connection. So when he threw in Janelle, and did he throw in Kat? He threw in Kat.
Yeah, because in the beginning of when they first got to the house, there was a scene of him and Kat talking on the balcony.
Yeah.
Because they talked about how much they talked on the phone.
Right.
But they didn't really get the chance in person to really spend that time.
Right. So Janelle, Kat, he had Sierra in there. And is that it? Those were the three?
Jessica, Sierra, Kat.
I just hope I'm not missing any of the women that have been eliminated.
But I don't know why he's saying Janelle because
I have no idea. They're friends. They're friends. There was never any like romantic connection between the two. So I don't know where that came from. And I don't know where any of the other women came from. The only one that we saw as clear as day was the connection between him and Jessica.
One thing I noticed about Jessica Morier's, I guess, connection, I know it's different than others, but I kind of really haven't seen them kind of much in an intimate setting.
Say it.
Or much physicality, not even a hug.
It was evident this episode, and it was disappointing because I actually really like Morier. And Jessica did piss me off that episode with the meeting the exes and the whole religion thing and her being judgmental along with Janelle. And the fact that she's even friendly with Janelle says a lot because Janelle is a nightmare. But I really have been rooting for them to make this real. And hopefully they're able to have a connection between each other.
Honestly, it seems a little one-sided.
It does.
I feel like Morier is fully attracted to Jessica.
Yes.
And he did mention that he did want to kind of see more of an intimate side of both of them.
Right.
But I feel like Jessica's still processing, like, he's a great guy. I feel like she's trying to figure out if she's attracted to him.
You think?
I feel like she's trying to figure out if he's that guy that has the qualities that she wants. Like, he's a nice guy, but I feel like she's still looking for certain things because it just seems like she's holding so much back and she's just kind of tiptoeing down the hallway with him.
I don't think that is just Morier, though. I think that because she comes off a little guarded, and I understand, girl. I really do understand. Um, but she admitted at the beginning of this episode, she said her strongest connection is Morier. She said out of her mouth, she's like, PDA is not her thing. She said, it's not my thing, but Morier is trying to work on me with that. And, you know, and I felt like, well, how did we get to public display of affection? We're talking about even
Right.
when you guys are just alone.
Right.
So there's a scene in this episode where Morier brings her some soap or some lotion or something into her room. They're by themselves. He was like, oh, I just wanted to make sure you got your stuff or whatever. And he's like, oh, okay, thank you. And like, you can tell he's trying to start up a little bit of a small conversation.
Yeah.
And she's like, oh yeah, I'm about to go to bed. Like, you don't say, like, this is not a work week. Like, I'm going to assume you don't got to log in tomorrow.
Because that would have been the perfect time for them to have some alone time.
Right.
Like, you know, maybe sit down, like, just have alone time.
Just have a long
but
time.
She was just so hell bent. Yep, time to go to sleep.
Yeah, she was like, yeah, I'm about to go to bed. That's what she said. I was like, oh, Jessica, like are you interested?
Despite before the Big Mouth started talking, Chris.
Yeah.
I felt like she was really into Chris way more than Morier. I truly felt that way.
Oh wow. Okay.
I really felt like for her it was. I said that because like that date when she came and surprised him during work.
Yeah.
Like, you know, I kind of felt like, okay,
with the picnic basket. Yeah.
I felt like that took some thought.
Yeah.
I truly felt like she was in the Chris more than Morier.
Yeah.
And now it's like, okay, well, I put all this energy in the Chris. Let me go to my second choice and see how this is going.
Yeah. Maybe it is a physical thing. Because she has also been saying from day one, it's so easy to talk to Morier and how much he understands her and all of this stuff. And
it's so crazy as a guy when, you know, that's kind of one of the first friend zone things you hear when it's like, it's so easy to talk to you. Like, I enjoy talking to you. You understand me. Okay. Yeah. But what about the other part?
Yeah.
You know, that's some friend zone lingo right there.
Yeah. It was like, Jessica, girl, I am with you. I do feel that you are guarded though. And I don't feel like you have given yourself the opportunity to, I'm not going to say show vulnerable side, right? I'm not doing that. I'm not subscribing. He coughing, y'all.
Y'all got to excuse me.
We got to wrap this up. But, I'm not saying you have to show no vulnerable side, right? I'm not saying that. What I'm saying is just to let down one barrier, and that's just continuing further conversations and having deeper conversations. You can be intimate with someone without the physical.
Right.
And so, like you said, that was the opportunity for them to have an intimate conversation. Mm-hmm. And nothing like, I'm not telling you to kiss this man, to be touching all over this man or nothing. Mm-hmm. But y'all could have definitely either sat on that floor or sat on the edge of the bed and just like, you know, really like kicked it and talked and just, you know, I find myself at every moment when connecting with a guy, it's like one of the big highlights for me is if we on the phone all night with conversation. That's with nothing physical, but can we have a conversation? And, you know, the whole, oh yeah, I'm about to go to bed. That just really, I was like, oh, she not into him the way I thought she was into him. And that's okay. But if you are into him, then I do think that you need to make your intentions a little bit more clear.
All right, y'all. So we have a very annoying scene we're about to talk about. So Q was outside the grill in his little Omega uniform. You know.
Oh, he's a Q?
Yeah.
I knew that.
I told you that.
Oh.
He has the wristband on like every episode.
I think, yeah. Don't he have the brand too? Yeah. Okay.
So, you know, as y'all know, Q's, they love the grill. You know, that's their outfit, as you just saw, you know, Q wearing. I know.
There will be no Q slander on this channel.
And, you know, so, you Kat came outside. She claims, she really didn't get the chance to talk to Q too much. And she was really hoping for like maybe some possible chemistry to pop up because, as y'all know, Kat is in the house trying to find somebody. What?
She's trying to find somebody real quick.
Real quick before elimination. And she's out there talking, chatting it up. I guess trying to start some form of conversation. And little as we know, here comes Janelle popping up.
Looking like the Wicked Witch from The Wiz. That's what she looked like.
Bruh.
And she was pissing me off.
She can't let Q do nothing without her. So Janelle comes outside, says something to Q about over there, him being naked. She knows what she's doing. She sees another woman around Q. So she has to come badgering everybody. And, I believe Kat made some comment and Janelle was like, oh, I'm gonna share for a little bit, but he's mine and he know that. Said some type of crap like that. And it's like, Janelle, you look so pitiful, bro.
She looks so thirsty.
If you were so confident in your connection with him, you would not be out there. And you would not say the comments you said.
Right. Like,
it's crazy.
I mean, not you trying to mark your territory for somebody that don't belong to you. That's really amazing. However, I think Kat said, so Q, you belong to her or something like that, and he was like, yeah, or do you belong, are you taken or spoken for?
Yeah.
And he was like, yeah, I am spoken for. So if that's how you feel, then that's how you feel. If that's your girl, then that's your girl. But to me, it's giving, I am doing the most for somebody that I am not with. And that's going to shoot you in the foot every time. And with Q looking the way he does and in the line of work that he's in, if every time a woman is talking to him, you're lurking in the corner, you're always going to be behind your man. Because he's always going to get approached.
It's like the only time she didn't follow behind his ass was when they were doing aerobics. Good Lord, she tapped out early.
With an attitude like, I don't want to be here. I don't want to do this. I don't want to step. I don't want to do... Girl, she's miserable.
When your dude's a personal trainer.
Yeah, how far is that going to go?
Right.
How far is that going to go?
I mean, I already told you, I'm a firm believer. I truly believe. Quentin is on this show for ass. Y'all can't tell me different. I see through it. He's on the show for ass, bro.
You think so?
Yeah.
Are you just saying that because he's an Omega?
No. Quentin's a 33-year-old personal trainer. I see it all over Q. Remember, there was a scene when Janelle and Kat were arguing. He took a sip of his straw. And he's like, Q full of shit. He full of it, bro. He know damn well what he doing.
Oh my gosh. Yeah. I mean, listen. Who said somebody had a thought job? I forgot that girl's name. That girl looked like
Unique.
Drew Sidora. She looked like Drew Sidora. I meant to say that episodes ago, but she looked just like Drew Sidora. But anyways, she should have said that to Quentin, too. Not just Red. She should have said it also to Quentin. I mean, he got a thought job. Let's be clear. Like, come on, y'all. Y'all know personal trainers, party promoters.
All personal trainers try to sleep with their clients.
Right.
Especially the man.
Come on, rappers.
Oh, gosh.
Athletes. Like, we all know that there are occupations and certain men exist in that space.
Oh, gosh.
So, whatever. But anyways, yeah, Janelle was not feeling the little aerobics. I thought it was very cute that Lee took this opportunity of everybody being in the same place at the same time to show a little bit more of her and what she likes. This is the type of energy that I'm talking about for Jessica, right? Where again, it has nothing to do with you being vulnerable in that way, right? Like what they're trying, what Chris was asking for, but more so just showing a little bit more about who you are. Can you laugh? Can you joke?
Because what she did was she brought them to her world.
Right, exactly. And you can see her light up and you can see her like really being fully in her element. And her positive energy was attracting the people that it was supposed to attract.
And Q did make a comment saying that he did like that.
Yeah, but it doesn't matter because I still think that he is stuck on Janelle. And
what I just tell y'all about Q's intentions, though. I just told y'all something.
Because to me, Lee definitely makes more sense for Q.
But I think Q knows. I think he has Janelle because he knows Lee is not down for his bullshit. That I see.
You think?
Bro. Like, he has it easy. He has
because Janelle is way more mouthy.
But he has Janelle just following him like a little pet.
I don't know. I would be interested. I know we're not going to know the real answer until the reunion. I really want to know what their conversations are like off of the show between Lee and Q.
Right.
Especially because when she said like he basically ghosted her. Like, I really want to know what that's like because she's another one that I feel like we haven't got too many scenes with her.
Right.
And she's another one that to me doesn't have any strong connections right now, except for this little man baby, Chris. Except for him.
All right, y'all. We're about to talk about this glorious game night. Let's start with Chris first. Mm-hmm. So they played a game called...
Who cares?
Okay.
They were asking each other questions.
Okay, they asked each other questions. The typical questions. Stuff like, does your partner's body count matter? Stuff like that.
Does your partner's body count matter? You want to ask?
You said doesn't matter?
Yeah.
I mean, not really. We're at the age where it doesn't matter.
Yeah.
As long as you didn't come out with something you can't get rid of and catch stuff, it really doesn't matter. I
used to ask early in my dating age. I used to ask that question. Just want to know if you're a hoe or not. I just want to know what I was dealing with. Because, there's a difference between, 12.
No, I mean, me early college days, everybody was hoeing anyway. But
speak for yourself.
But
speak for yourself. Had a boyfriend the entire time. Speak for yourself.
It was one of those things where I don't know when I was younger why I would let it impact me, but being older after graduation. Yeah, and now it just I don't care.
Right. Just don't let none of your skeletons haunt you right now. That's the only thing. But I feel like that it's just like move on. What was the other question that they asked?
Oh, I forgot.
Have you ever slept with somebody of the same sex? Sierra said that she did. I don't know why I wasn't shocked by that. That's no shade. I just wasn't shocked when she was like, I did. I wasn't shocked. And then we get to my favorite question in life. This is my favorite subject to talk about. My favorite thing. Is it not my favorite thing? Talk about gender roles?
Oh my gosh, for no reason, bro.
Cause I'm out here trying to dismantle toxic masculinity. So I'm always here to have a conversation about gender.
And she never gets tired of it. I don't understand.
Listen, I've taken many of gender politic courses. I know what I know. So this was a question. I was like, okay, I must have wrote this question. They was listening. And it was perfect because this was an opportunity for Chris to completely remove the mask that I feel like half of the women, and there's only a few, but half of the women was not aware of. I honestly don't think that. And then after he revealed his ignorance and his misogyny and the fact that he is very insecure, once he revealed that, you had a couple of the women attracted to that. And I found that to be so telling. I find it to be so telling. But when the question was asked, do you believe in gender roles? Janelle made some point about, I don't know. She made some point saying how gender roles have never been an issue within our community back in the day. That's not our thing or whatever, and like I don't mind playing my role or whatever her
she
point
said
was.
somewhere on the lines of God's not going to send somebody down that can't hold that weight. Like,
that was their second point. That's what started the argument. So then that's when Chris chimes in and says, I believe in gender roles. I don't believe that the equality that we have in our society today is right. When he said that sentence, I believe the equality that we have in our society today isn't right or doesn't work or whatever he said. Once he said that sentence, do you understand? I packed up the game. We're done. It's done. We're done. Okay, good night, everyone. We're done. There's nothing else to talk about. One thing, as much as we sit here and we laugh as far as like, oh, I'm always ready to have the conversation. In all jokes aside, at this point in my life now, I'm starting to realize that it's not even worth it. Unless it is some type of actual formal debate that we're having, and we're having a very adult conversation, there's absolutely no reason for me to explain something to you that you clearly have already made up your mind, because that sentence alone is just pure ignorance. Oh, you're not bright. Okay. It doesn't matter what I say.
What was his second thing he said? He said he believes when it comes to leadership. He
said that is the reason why I believe more men hold positions of leadership, because women are too emotional or so more emotional.
He got a big response from the ladies, like Sierra, Lee made a face. Of course, Jessica made a face. Yeah. And then he said something about Jessica talking about she want to argue. He went his little.
Well, yeah, because Jessica, of course, she said her opinion. Because at this point, everybody said their opinion. You had Sierra even jumping up like, nigga, who you like? What? Like, everybody had a physical reaction to it, and Jessica was the only one that was like, "Oh, well, I don't believe in the whole gender role thing, and this is why." She said her opinion, just like everybody else in that room was saying their opinion. But the moment she opened up her mouth, here goes man baby talking about why she gotta be so combative. That pissed me off. And he knew what he was doing, using that word, especially to describe black women. And every black woman in the room knew what he was doing, except for Kat, because I peeped that. Except for Kat. I didn't feel like she really understood what just took place.
Well, nah, then some of the ladies jumped on board when he said he doesn't believe women should pay bills. And that's when some of them jumped up. Like, it was like Sierra and Kat were like...
Yeah, they were like, oh yeah, I can get with you on that. And it was like, y'all, like...
But, let's let that lead into the next part. Here we go with Janelle and Kat.
Right. Again, y'all, it happened so fast and it was so stupid because both women were wrong to me. I hear what Janelle's point was, where she said that, oh, God put us here to be their helpmate. I want to assume men, and that God wouldn't send you someone that can't hold or match the same weight that you hold. Yeah. I disagree. I don't believe in any of that.
All that got taken away because as soon as she said that, she made a slick comment towards Kat right after that. And
Kat tried to chime in, and then she was like, well, I wasn't talking to you or something like that. And Kat, the argument instantly stopped being about the topic at hand and then got into Kat and Janelle just going back and forth with each other, because Kat called her out and was like, you have been a mean girl this entire process, and can't nobody check you. But I'm not the one. You can't disrespect me in this way. You're cutting me off. You feel like you want to bully your way through this conversation when we're just having a conversation. Yeah. And she takes it too far. And that's my thing with Janelle. You take it too far. Even though I don't agree with what Kat's point of view was, which who cares? Again, Once the question was asked, I wrapped up the game. I don't want to play no more. I don't have this conversation with you guys anymore. We can have this conversation one-on-one with my connection, but I don't want to talk about it with y'all no more because I don't care. But her stance on the whole, like, oh, I've tried the masculine thing, I've tried the leadership thing, and like I want to lean more into my femininity. Again, I still don't think that we have a full understanding as a people of what femininity is and what masculinity is. Mm-hmm. And that's all debatable for some people, but they were both wrong. But Kat was not wrong for responding to Janelle and getting with Janelle, because Janelle has been very condescending and just mean the entire time.
She made comments like, I don't know why these bitches always try me, blah, blah, blah.
She said ugly bitches, which was fascinating too. Yeah. I was like, what? Like,
Janelle, you ain't the best looking one there.
I think she is pretty on the outside. Now, her attitude has made her extremely ugly. Mm. But I said that first episode that she's a pretty girl.
She mid.
I mean, that's, again, looks is in the eye of the beholder. Right. But whatever.
But yeah, so pretty much, Kat and Janelle, got a little personal. Kat talking about how Janelle's pretty much been having an attitude towards her the whole season.
Well, she can't say that. Kat ain't been here the whole season. But well, okay, keep going.
But pretty much, Kat walked away. F you, Janelle, I think Janelle said something like, well, I'm still here. Good for you, Janelle. F you. But, y'all, so pretty much after that scene, it was time for the guys to meet up because they had to try to figure out who they were going to send home. And as you guys seen, it was Jessica and Sierra. And both of those are Maria's connections. And I'm not surprised by that because when you look how everything's matched up, it's got to happen at some point.
Yeah.
And, I find it interesting because at the end, Tommy calls Maury to come out and, approach the women. Right. He calls out Sierra and Jessica and talks about both of them. With Sierra, he talks about how guys looking at her as the homegirl. She a good time, but not really connections there. And when Mario talks about Jessica, we all know where this information came from.
Oh my God.
He talks about how guys talk about, her trying to figure out where she is, as well as they're having issues with her being combative and hard to talk to. And we all know where that came from.
Because not one time has this girl been combative, especially with that little man. She hasn't. He thinks combative means you are not supposed to question me or my behavior. Chris, before we end this, Chris, why are you on the show? Because let the record show, at the very beginning, during intros of all of these people, this man said that I think he's Nigerian. Something.
Nigerian.
Yes. And he said that he comes from a family of arranged marriages. Mm-hmm. And so his people put together basically like a whole list of women that he was supposed to choose from. And he didn't want to do that. So then why are you on this show? Because it's what's the difference?
No, I thought arranged, the family picks.
Yeah, no, they do. They do. He said that they gave him a few options. Mm-hmm. Not just one person, but there was a few options you're supposed to then choose. So then what is the point of you being here? If you want to find a woman that is not going to challenge you to make you become a better person, because that's all that is when it comes to challenging other people, challenging their point of views, challenging, their train of thought, like all of those things is what's supposed to go on in a relationship. And it's all supposed to be rooted in love. I want you to exercise your mind. Have a conversation with me. I don't need you to always agree with me, right? I'm not looking for a servant. I'm looking for a partner. Right. He doesn't want a partner. And so my question is, why are you on this show? I'm pretty sure there are so many women that your family put together a little profile for you of women that will be in servitude to you. Why are you on here wasting these people's time? However, Lee and Kat both, y'all seem to be drinking this juice. If this is what you want, you have at it. But I'm trying to tell you, this is an insecure little man. Very insecure. And I'm done with Chris. I'm done with him.
So,
don't trust him either.
So, y'all, the episode ended with a cliffhanger. As we all know what was going to happen. So, we'll see if we get another episode, next episode to see who goes home. My guess is I think it's Sierra. But we shall see. Last thoughts for this episode?
They didn't piss me off. Get Chris off the show. He can't be trusted. He is a terrorist. He has to go. He has to go. And to be honest, I just don't feel like there are any real connections anymore. I'm gonna be real. I don't feel like there's any real connections anymore. Not even feeling Aries? Maybe. But I can't. I'm hesitant to say that because I still just don't feel like I feel like that. Right. So I don't know. But I don't. This season hasn't been bad. It's just that I just don't feel like there's any real connections, right. And they need to change that. You know, when going through the little interview process and trying to pick people to be a part of this experience, I just feel like they need to do more due diligence when it comes to the people that they choose, because it never kind of equals out or balances out a lot of time. And then when it does, I feel like the connections are being forced. Right. And maybe that has something to do with this whole concept of all of the guys and all of the girls eliminating each other. Right. Even if you have a genuine connection with somebody, them staying is determined on if everybody else has a connection with them. Right. Which maybe that's what it is. It's kind
of weird. Next episode, one thing I'm looking to see is I want to see if Jessica's able to come out that shell. I'm very interested in Maurier's journey with this. So we'll see how that goes.
He's the only one that I like. I know I've been refraining from saying I like people, but genuinely, yeah, I'll just go ahead and say it now. Maury is the only person that I like on the show.
But y'all, we do appreciate y'all for joining us for another episode of Reality Check TV. We want you guys to continue to light the comments up. Please let us know how you feel. Talk amongst each other. We're here to answer questions too. We'll give our responses. But please continue to like and subscribe. But I just want to remind you guys, we do have Huntsville coming back in a couple weeks. Yes. I'm ready to get back on that train. I never knew I'd miss them so much. So much entertainment.
I don't miss it at all. I just miss Mel. Love her. She's a good girlfriend. However, I think it's the 16th. It is the 16th. And I was just checking to make sure before I said it the wrong date. It comes back on the 16th. So, of course, that following week, we will be doing a review on Ready to Love. So make sure, again, you hit that notification bell so you can get notified.
But we appreciate y'all for joining. It's hot out here. Y'all continue to drink that water. Stay on that sidewalk. Stay out the streets. Tell them bye.
Bye.